What's up, guys? This is Ashley.
And this is Liz.
And this is the prank episode. Prank.
Well, I know. This isn't the Besties in the Books podcast. You've come to a different podcast. Just kidding.
I bet at first they were like, wait, what just happened? Did I scare you?
Buckle up for a spoiler-free episode today, guys.
Yep.
We're leaning 100% into the April Fool's situation.
Yeah. Not 100%. 90%.
I mean, this is a real episode. Wait, yeah. Is it real?
Who am I?
Who am I? Yeah. Where are we? Just floating around in space. But no, I mean, this is a real episode, but I guess you guys will just have to figure out what's a prank and what's not. What an adventure for us all. It will be spoiler free. So
yeah.
Like, feel free to listen on. We're going to be doing some Am I the A-hole responses to specifically prank / like April Fool's stuff.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, like I feel like the holiday stuff is always strong. There's plenty of information to find out there on the internet.
Definitely.
As a species, apparently we love to just be a-holes around the holidays specifically. Yeah. But yes, we're going to be doing that. And for any of you guys who know who Prank Sinatra is, stick around to the end because we will be doing a special Smasher Pass Winnie the Bish themed.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoy that because obviously when you think of pranks, that's who we think of.
That's what we think of for sure. He's made himself the prank master. What is it called again?
Prank Sinatra.
Prank Sinatra. He made a name for himself, that's for sure. Stuck in me.
If you guys stuck in me, stuck in us. If you guys don't know who that is, you can stick around to the end. We'll explain. Yeah. Or you could just Google it and watch some videos and you're welcome.
Yeah.
Because we need to rewatch it. It's going to be so funny. So that's going to be kind of the lowdown on today's episode. We're going to start off with a faves or fails, also prankish edition. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
But before we get into all that, we just wanted to say thank you guys so much for being here.
Dude, seriously, thank you guys so much for being here. Jumping into our April Fool's episode. You might have seen that title pop up on your notification and you're like, what? I thought this was a book podcast. It is. We're also a vibe podcast.
We're just vibes.
We're just vibes. Like, we're just having a good time. You know us and our millennial nostalgia, our comedic take on literally everything, so we can't take everything too seriously, even though we get serious talks too, and books and everything, but we love doing the Am I the A-hole reactions. Yeah,
they're funny.
You know, it's like a little sprinkle for you guys to just zhuzh up your day. So you might be like, who are these people? What are you? So that's primarily a book podcast, but then we like to do other stuff too. So welcome, one and all. Thank you for being here. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you like listening to your favorite podcast, including YouTube. You can come hang out with us there. We're literally just chilling on the couch today. Just chilling.
Yeah, like
that's what we're doing.
In our beanies and our sweatpants.
In our fake woods background. Yeah. In the trees. Our couch in the trees.
A cozy good time.
Yeah. It's like the Paramore cover where she has the couch in the trees.
Yeah.
So I just realized that. Cool. So yeah, check us out also over on Instagram and TikTok at Besties in the Books Podcast. And let's hang out some more.
Yes. Let's do it. I cannot wait to hear about your guys' favorite pranks.
Yeah.
Because we'll definitely ask you about that. Whether it was somebody played a prank on you and it didn't go well, or maybe someone played a prank on you and it was funny, or you did it to someone else. Like, I want to know all the things.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love being a spectator of pranks.
It was funny because when I was writing down my faves and fails, I was like, I guess I kind of do like pranks. Like, I don't even really mind being pranked.
It just depends. For me.
I mean, maybe it's because, like, the people in my life, like, aren't mean, so no one's doing, like, a mean prank.
My sister used to go really hard on me. So
okay.
I'm a little scarred. Not too hard. There's no injuries, but, like, I was scared for my life.
Scared for my life. Okay,
around every corner. When I'm just trying to be in peace, and she's always jumping out at me.
I mean, my husband definitely likes to scare me. Yeah. I don't know if I'd really consider that a prank. Yeah. But yeah, he definitely likes to jump scare me. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll get into it. So with faves or fails, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll let you take the floor. Elizabeth.
Okay. Elizabeth. Okay, so...
Our prank is just calling each other the opposite name the whole time.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing.
Even though, like, probably half of you guys don't even know, what we look like. Yeah. Who is who. Okay, so I have...
That's a Winnie Bish right there.
Yeah, yeah. So I have two of each because I thought they were funny. And So the first one for a fave, okay, we'll start off with the faves, was, for any of you guys who don't know this about me, before I got into the beauty industry, I was a panty slinger at Victoria's Secret for like almost a decade. And, you know, I got to be really good friends with most of the girls that I worked with there. It was great. And I'm still friends with a lot of them to this day. So my old roommate, shout out to Amber, we lived together and we worked together. And we would go in at like odd hours. Like sometimes we'd be there, you know, guys, that stuff doesn't just happen. Those people would be there usually 3 o'clock in the morning. We're setting stuff up. Yeah.
For you.
Folding the panty lines.
But like rows and rows
Yeah,
of
putting
lines.
them into lines.
Yeah.
Well, I was beauty department, so I would be sitting there lining up all the lotions at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Yep. So there was one day where like we didn't get everything done the night before and we were like, okay, this is crazy. Like we can't be here all night. We're just going to have to go home and sleep for a few hours and then come back in the really early morning. Yeah. So, you know, someone might get in trouble for this, but hey, guess what? The store I worked out's closed, so who cares? No one was ever supposed to open by themselves. No one was ever supposed to be in the store alone. Well, of course, I thought that I was going to be in the store by myself. Well, turns out a couple of other girls had gotten there sooner than me, but I thought I was there alone. So, you know, we would unpack big, like, marketing signs and, like, things that came in really huge boxes. Yeah. And so there was a really big rectangular box, like, behind the cash wrap. I thought that I was there alone. Yeah. First thing in the morning. I go to, and it was taped and everything, okay? I go to cut it open to get this like big signage out, and Amber, my old roommate, was inside the box and I thought I was alone in the mall. She jumped out and scared me so good. To this day, it's one of my favorite pranks that's ever been played on me because I had no idea anyone was even there. Yeah. And the way that I mean, she got me good. She got me good. So good. Yeah. That's good. So that still stands out to this day.
That takes patience.
Yeah.
To jump out.
Yeah.
And hope that somebody will open it.
I mean, she knew that I'd have to because that was like part of what I was doing in the morning, but it was just, I mean, that's dedication.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that was a good prank. My other favorite prank, this is a shout out to my sister, and I don't know the full extent of this prank. And Mom, if you're listening, sorry, but it's funny. So this is a prank. This doesn't even have to do with me, but it's just so diabolical that like I had to mention it because it was so funny. So my mom, she's a fairly religious lady. You know, we would have paintings of Jesus and whatnot in our house. And I think that it was either like a painting just of Jesus or a painting of the Last Supper. I can't remember. But my sister and her friend thought it would be funny to prank my mom. They stuck one of their cell phones behind the picture and put it, not, I don't think on speaker, but just on kind of like loud, you know, and then called it from their other phone in the other room and talked into it. And my mom was fully convinced, I think maybe even to this day, that the painting was talking to us.
Oh no.
From the beyond. And so, yeah, that stands out to me as like a really good prank because I still, like I said, I don't even know if she knows to this day that that didn't really happen.
Oh, man.
But the way that's pretty hilarious to me.
Yeah.
So those are 2 good pranks that I could think of.
That's good.
The fail pranks. So recently, have you guys seen that like video floating around on like TikTok and Instagram that's like where, you know, someone goes and puts a frozen pizza in the oven and then they come back and it's tiny? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we tried to do that. My sister and I tried to do that to my husband and her boyfriend. And my husband's just too much of a like nosy Nelly and like figured it out. If it would have just been her boyfriend, we might have been able to pull it off. Yeah. But Kanan was just like up in our biz and it didn't work out. So that was a prank fail, but that would have been really funny. I love watching those videos. Yeah. They're hilarious. Yeah. The other prank fail that I had that's just so funny is the one where I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's like a trend going around where you just text your significant other or whomever lyrics to a song as a conversation.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and like see if they catch on. Yeah. So like I had to look it up because I couldn't remember what song I had texted my husband. Okay, so it's that song Heaven by Bryan Adams. It's like the Baby You're All That I Want.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that song, right? Okay, so
oh, that's gonna be so in my head now.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Okay. So I texted him like the first lines. Thinking about our younger years. He's like, what? And I was like, there was only you and me. We were young and wild and free. And he's like, are you okay? Now nothing can take you away from me. We've been down that road before, but that's over now. You keep me coming back for more. And he was like legit like, are you okay? Like I didn't realize I was sending him song lyrics, but he didn't know what I was saying.
It's like, she's having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And let's see, where did he catch on? I feel like yeah. So there was definitely like a point in the song where he started taking it like very seriously. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was just so funny because I just noticed that I was like, oh no, like he's taking this to like a really serious place. Like he was like, I'm really happy with our life. Like I really like our life now. I don't know that I would go back to like being younger because he was like taking it like really seriously, but in like a good way. I was like, okay, I've taken it too far.
Yeah. When do I pull back?
When do I pull back? It's too much. So I told him, I was like, dude, I'm just texting you lyrics to this song. Look it up on Apple Music. And he was like, oh my God. He took a joke. It was funny.
Yeah.
Like he didn't take it too
seriously. It was still sweet, Hey,
yeah. But it was hilarious. So highly recommend if you haven't done that. That's a good one.
Yeah. I'm going to use that for sure.
So those are my faves and fails. It was a fail because I was like, oh no. Like it could have gotten away from me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But luckily he did not take it.
That's like a whole like sitcom episode that's like, and then he's like bragging to all his friends about the sweet things his wife was texting him.
It's just like a song.
Somebody finally calls him out and then he's like, I'm going to get back at her and make her feel bad about doing this to me. You know what I mean?
It was pretty funny.
So for me, I try to think back on my time as a youth, if you will.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was just such a part of everyday life in high school and early college age years that like it's hard to pinpoint any like specific big pranks. Like I don't know, there's definitely probably some that I need to maybe hold for April Fool's episode 2026 because I gotta think on it. However, I do remember like a lot of little ones that we had. We were part of this high school club called FHA, Future Homemakers of America, which I'm worried is no longer in existence, quite frankly. But it was like FFA, but for homemakers. So there would be, different events that you go to, competitions. So we end up at this hotel in Fresno every year, and I'm sure we did tons of pranks. Who knows what all of them were. Yeah. One of them, though, was the classic, probably annoying to adults, high school prank of filling the jacuzzi with bubbles.
I have pictures of that still.
Dude, that was so fun, because, we were definitely, running amok in that hotel. It was almost all exclusively FHA people.
Yeah. It was a convention of high schoolers.
Yeah, and it was at the Radisson in Fresno. I'm sure there was some poor outliers out there who were at the hotel and bummed out. But honestly, at the end of the day, it's soap, So we had a shoe and we had a bathroom with bubbles and we, craziness ensues. And
we put a lot in there. It was cool.
And you know what? Everybody had a great time.
Yeah.
The jacuzzi was closed the next day.
It was closed the next day.
But then they opened it back up. It's happened here in our community pool too. And it was like, I know it's fine, but what if they're not bubbles? It's more of that. Like, what if it's not? So that was fun. Just little things like that. You know? And then I was leaving Paul Mitchell because I went there for hair school. And on our last day, we pranked one of our favorite teachers by just filling his little car with balloons.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
An hour at least. And just
takes a lot more than you think.
Takes a lot of work to do some of these things. So that was fun. Mm-hmm. Fun, just faves of just quick, easy, silly pranks, And then fail would just be, I won't call them out, but I guess more of a PSA, kind of a bummer fail of a prank, sorry. But just when someone called and said that they were pregnant, when maybe people are having difficulties with that,
Yeah, so be sensitive about that.
Pregnancy things, you never know what other people are going through, so, Yeah. It's not great to do that, so don't do that.
Yeah.
And that's it. Nothing horrible happened, but it was just
just a little inconsiderate.
Yeah, so.
As you were saying, the other pranks, it reminded me of in high school when we used to consistently prank our English teacher.
How could I forget?
Yeah, I know. I didn't think of it either until just now. If you're our English teacher, we won't call you out by name, but you had it coming.
Yeah. Quite frankly. I can't even remember all the specifics because we did so many of them, you know?
Well, my favorite personally was, and the reason I say he had it coming was because like other teachers would even help us prank him.
Yeah.
Like that's how bad it was.
And he literally, like, you cannot, we've talked about this before. You cannot assign an essay that we are supposed to be having our writing style critiqued so we can get better at it. We're in AP classes. Like, we're trying to get these college scholarships and stuff and not ever grade them and give them back to us. So we can't get better by the time the next one is assigned and due.
He would just lose all of our work. He would lose all of it. He would just
talk about like his what is it called?
Yeah, he would bring his dissertation in and talk about it all the time.
Like, he just wasn't a good teacher.
No.
You know?
So my favorite prank that we would do on him, remember, is when one time it was really his birthday. And so it was like his birthday on a Friday. And so we all sang him happy birthday, like loud and obnoxiously, which it's like, whatever. Well, then what ended up happening was every single Friday we would sing him happy birthday. But it got to the point where like we would get other teachers in on it. So I remember one of our PE teachers, she would literally march up the entire PE class to parade through his room.
This is great. It's like brand new information to me because I only have vague memories.
Yeah.
That's
like,
amazing.
You don't remember that? It was
I
so
do, but like,
funny.
I wouldn't have if you didn't say it.
So he'd be so mad because like every Friday we would get other classrooms to come in and sing him happy birthday and parade through his class.
See, those are my favorite type of pranks. We're like, nobody's actually getting hurt.
No.
Nothing's getting destroyed.
No.
It's just like obnoxious.
Yeah. I remember one time a teacher let us into his classroom. I don't know if it was early in the morning or it must have been early in the morning before he was there. And I remember we put a post-it
notes on everything.
With labeling it with what it was.
Yeah.
So when he got there in the morning, there was like 10 billion post-it notes on everything in his classroom.
Whiteboard, marker, red marker, blue marker, desk.
One time we taped his classroom door shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and like I said, though, it's like, dude needed to loosen up and we would have stopped messing with him.
Well, and he wasn't even like, it wasn't that he was strict or anything. He didn't even seem like he minded the pranks that much. We never got in trouble.
I mean, we didn't get in serious trouble, but he definitely didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that just made us want to keep doing it.
I think he secretly did.
Maybe.
Honestly.
Maybe he's like, let's keep it interesting.
Yeah. Because fun fact, I tried to get removed from his class because I was sick of it. And he pranked me. He got me back that day. We sit down with the guidance counselor. I had to get one of my parents to come down, which was, impossible to get them to come to the school. And so we set up this meeting to get removed from the class. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God,
Ashley.
I love
You're my favorite student.
Oh my God, he hated her so much.
You're a grade A student. I would always get kicked out of the class. So when I say not get in trouble, we didn't get in trouble, but like I would have to go sit in the hallway and stuff for being
like every day. Like Ashley could be just sitting there quietly doing her work and he'd be like, Ashley, outside.
Yes, it's happened so many times. And I'd be like, I wasn't even participating this time.
So that's hilarious. Yeah. He's like staring at you and he's like, no, you're my favorite student.
It's like out of a sitcom. Like totally. I don't know what you're talking. And I had to stay.
I love that.
He's like one of my grade A students, top of my class. She does so good. And I'm just like, you kick me out of your class every day. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no record of it. So he knew he was saving that for a rainy day.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of good memories from that class. So ultimately it was good that you stayed.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I didn't really want to leave. I just wanted him to like stop kicking me out of his class. And he did cool it after that, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and that was our last year having him.
That's so funny. Yeah, because we ended up having to have him 2 years in a row.
We had him 2 years in a row, yeah. And then the next year was our best teacher.
Yeah.
That's great. Who actually helped us. Because, like, that's what was so frustrating. It's like, we're a class that actually wants to learn and grow and do better. We're not just, like, doing the busy work and turning it in.
Yeah.
So it's very frustrating having a teacher that was just, like, he was probably really smart on paper, but he just didn't
he wasn't a good teacher. He wasn't a good teacher. Yeah. So, okay, should we get into the Am I the A-hole section?
Yes.
Okay, great. So remember, these are just
like,
kind of...
April Fools, Am I the A-hole?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay,
so I have this one I found. It's really good. Can't wait to see what you guys say about it. Am I the a-hole for wanting some honesty from my boyfriend?
Okay.
I, 21 female, have been with my boyfriend, 24 male, for about 4.5 months. Lately, he has been keeping secrets from me, and it's making me really mad.
Okay.
He told me I could trust him and that he would only keep information from me that could cause me more harm if I actually knew it. By the way, a little backstory is we are in the military and kind of in a confusing war that he does have about 3 or so years experience than me. And he is higher rank than me. Oh, and also, by the way, we are in sort of like a bit of a rebellion that he's kind of a figurehead for, and he's been in it even longer. But I just can't stand the secret keeping. I hate it so much. Every time we're together, I make a really big deal about him keeping secrets. Yes, one of my ex-best friends who he doesn't like is able to read minds by touching you. So maybe that's why he's withholding information, she thinks. But I still want him to tell me anyways, and I'll just try not to let that guy get close to me. Okay, what? It's fine. Every time I bring up the secrets, he says it's for my protection. But being his new girlfriend, I am entitled to know every detail about every aspect of his life and career. That's just part of the territory, you know? Anyways, am I the a-hole? What do you guys think? I don't see the prank in there.
I know. Who knows? Who knows what you're talking about? Or who you're talking about. I think the whole, like, my best friend can read minds thing kind of gave it away a little bit.
Yeah, it needed to happen at some point.
I mean, I would say that I think that she's the a-hole.
Yeah, I think she's the a-hole. Who do you think it is that is this about?
I wonder. I'm so
These are anonymous,
confused.
so...
Could it be Violet Sorengale by chance?
Perhaps in Iron Flame?
I love that so much.
Okay, so Liz and I came up with this little idea for the first section of Am I the A-hole to prank you guys with an Am I the A-hole story. So, as you can guess, that was me trying to get you and Liz to guess who I was making, like, doing a story of, right?
Yeah, making fun of.
That is our, and that's also our take on Iron Flame, was her complaining about his secret keeping the whole time.
The whole time.
So no, not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole. Oh my God. Well,
see that tie in there with books and with pranks and with April Fools? We did it.
I mean, she is the a-hole.
She is the a-hole. That was like, so, and it really lit, and then we find out what the secrets are, and it's like, literally, you don't need to know this. Stop it. Just harping and harping and harping on it.
He's leading the rebellion and he needs to keep some stuff a secret.
I've had a year experience. I've been your girlfriend for 4 months. I should know everything. You have loyalty to other people, but I don't care. Yeah.
Okay. You ready for mine?
Yeah.
You'll know who it is. I didn't write it mysteriously. It's just, it was funny though, because I was telling Ashley, I was like, when you write these out though, like it makes it seem even worse.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Hi, I'm B. 20, female. My boyfriend is a war veteran who has been deployed for active combat several times and is quite a bit older than me. He suffers from severe PTSD because of the fact that during one of his past deployments, he was actually captured as a prisoner of war and tortured. He is currently still in the military, but hadn't been in active combat in a couple of years. Due to his experience in a very recent series of events, he was called back into active duty, where he was actually captured again and tortured extensively.
I just got it. Okay. Bad.
Since his second rescue, he has been closed off, distant, and seems to have no interest in ever participating in the military again. He tells me things like he wants to live a quiet life and retire.
What an a-hole.
I don't understand his mentality. I met him as a badass with so much drive to take down the bad guys, and now he just mopes around like a little bitch. He's just an unmanly shell of himself, and I've been trying to get him to snap out of it, but my encouragement that he toughen up and move past this doesn't seem to be working. Am I the a-hole for criticizing his behavior and expecting my boyfriend to go back to the manly tough guy I got with?
Bryce, House of Flame and Shadow. Dude, that was hilarious. Oh my gosh. And yes, she's the a-hole.
Right? Like, it's like, I feel like when you're reading it, it's like kind of debatable. Like you're like trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. And like Hunt does seem like sad and mopey. But then when you write it out like this, you're like, no, dude.
This is horrible.
This is horrible. Like, imagine.
He's like 1,000 years old. He doesn't want to do this anymore.
He's so tired. He didn't want to do it again. And like, oh my God. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
That was great.
Okay, so we had to do that. We had to prank you guys a little bit.
Yeah.
But now we're going to move into the actual April Fool's Am I the A-hole questions.
Yeah, so these will just be from Reddit. So we'll be reacting to Reddits now, and those are always fun to do. So let's go. Am I the a-hole for expressing discomfort about my wife and her friends pranking my mom on our wedding day?
Okay.
My mom hasn't been the greatest in the past. She can be really rude and was catty. She didn't get off to a good start with my wife due to her own rude and self-centered behavior. But I took my wife's side and laid down some boundaries.
Good for you.
Yeah,
I feel like that happens
great.
so rarely.
Off to a great start, honestly.
Yeah.
My mom gets that she can't be rude these days. I fully get my wife, and I fully get that my wife will never like her. Mom probably won't like her either, and we will all just avoid each other for the most part. Don't get me wrong, it makes me sad, as I used to be close to my family, but my wife comes first. Great. We recently got married, and it was nearly perfect day. The only one issue that arose is my mom had a fairly large, very noticeable food coloring stain on her cheek, about the size of a lighter. Obviously, she wasn't happy about this and wanted it covered. She never does her own makeup and knows very little about makeup. The makeup artist was a friend of my wife's and knew all the drama about my mom. She told her she would try, but the makeup would have to be darker to hide it. She and my wife giggled ahead of time and decided to F with her. She made it super dark, like orange. My mom has fair skin, so it looked ridiculous. My mom seemed to believe her that nothing lighter would cover it and just removed all the makeup and went on with a big pink blotch. So like red food coloring. It was probably making something for it, you know?
I'm like, why does she have a huge food coloring stain on her face?
Well, you know how like I'll use it and it'll just like freaking stain my fingers. So well, getting it on your face somehow.
I'm like, but you're an adult woman. How did you get it on your face?
Just haphazard.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. I mean, those things can explode sometimes.
That's true.
You know?
I need more information about that.
Like, I want to investigate this.
Yeah,
How did
exactly.
that happen? I didn't know about this at the time, but we recently got back from our honeymoon, and my wife hosted a dinner to look at the wedding pictures. Her friends all began laughing about what they did to my mom. This was the first time I heard about it, and I said that was kind of mean girl-ish. My wife gave me a look. Her friends kept saying it was funny and my mom is dumb and got what she deserved. Oof. At this point, I got annoyed and said they acted like middle school bullies and they should be embarrassed. Whatever my mom had done in the past, she was not the problem on a wedding. She was not a problem on the wedding day. This might be way too far, but I said at least she laughed it off and moved on with her spot. They would have spent the whole day insecure and worried about it on Instagram. Oh, if it happened to them, maybe? I don't know. When they left, my wife became very upset and said I should be on her side 100%, not 95%, and that I humiliated her by speaking to her friends like that. She accused me of being a mama's boy.
It sounds like he's like very... Is that the end? Sorry.
That's it.
Yeah. It sounds like he's actually very supportive. Like, I mean, but this is also told from his perspective.
Yes. True.
So we don't really know necessarily. But assuming that the other things that he said are correct, I mean... I would agree that's pretty mean girls-y.
Yeah. It's one of those, you need to know what's too far. You need to know the line.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, it's one of those things where, well, first of all, I have a lot of feelings about this. Pranking someone who you actively don't like
is a line you don't cross.
Yeah, that's bullying now.
Yeah.
Like, that's, in my opinion, that's totally different. Like, you prank people because it's funny and, like, you're going to be able to laugh about it together.
Yes.
Not because you want to be mean to someone.
Yeah.
So that is different, in my opinion. Also, as someone, both of us have worked as professional makeup artists.
Yeah.
I've done it for my friends' weddings for sure. I would never agree to do something like that.
Super
for multiple reasons. It's super unprofessional. It's going to mess up photos.
Yeah.
So joke's on you because now the family photos are going to look all jacked.
Yeah.
It's going to be in your portfolio. People are going to look at it and say, oh my God, that makeup artist did that.
Yeah.
So that's very problematic in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, I mean, I think it was the wife that was being the a-hole.
Yeah.
The only thing that I could potentially see her being upset about was like him calling her out in front of her friends, like maybe wait until her friends are gone to like talk to her about it in private.
Yeah.
But like also, I don't know, it's like play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It's like kind of that thing where it's like, don't be mad about getting called out for being an a-hole if what you did was clearly a-holy.
Yeah. It shouldn't even be about him at this point. He shouldn't be worried about, he's asking if he's the a-hole for calling her out on it. That's not even his problem at this point. Like, she was an a-hole.
Yeah.
It's an a-hole choice. It's a wedding day, you know?
Yeah.
And she's not being problematic at this time. It sounds like she's, you know, agreeing to their boundaries.
Yeah.
You know? And we don't know the full story. We don't know what's going on. But at the end of the day, yeah. It's no longer a prank when it's your enemy.
Yeah, exactly. That's just like you being mean to them.
Yeah.
Like, and again, it's like on your wedding day, like that's really what you want to spend your wedding day being focused on.
Yeah.
Have your, you know, if you and your mother-in-law or whatever don't get along, you know, I've done this for clients before where I will just work on certain family members in a different room.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems with that. Like, then they can get ready separately and then you can just move on with your day.
Yep.
So
the internet also voted that he was not the a-hole.
yeah,
Of course.
of course.
And that everybody says that she was acting inappropriately.
That's kind of crazy.
Crossed the line.
Cross the line. I still need to, I want to know more about the food coloring mishap. Can we find out more about that,
Can we
please?
find out more? Can I have her number? We want to know what happened there.
Okay, so here's one. Am I the a-hole for writing erotic fan fiction as an April Fool's joke?
Oh.
So I'm part of an online writing group who gets together every week over Discord to workshop our stuff. It's mostly anonymous. We've generally known each other online for a couple years now, but with a few exceptions, we don't do real names. We occasionally get new members, but it evens out when older members leave. We've been more or less stable at around 20 people for as long as I've been part of the group. As far as what we write, we've had stuff covering just about all genres, but we mostly do fantasy and sci-fi, various flavors. We are all adults, so the subject matter is often mature, and a few pieces, while not full-blown erotica, have included explicit sex scenes. About a month ago, I had an idea to write an erotic fan fiction for my next piece and post it on April 1st as a joke. I'm not going to say who it was about beyond the fact that it was two fictional characters who are of age. Because I was writing it as a joke, a lot of the anatomical descriptions and scenarios involved were a bit creative. Nothing I would really consider offensive, just unusual. I posted the story in our group saying that I was thinking about taking my writing in a new direction and was hoping for some honest feedback. I thought it was funny, and judging by the responses that I got, both before and after I said it was an April Fool's joke, most of the group agreed. The problem is that we have a member who has been away for work for about 2 months and didn't have time to participate in the group finally getting the opportunity to come back. When she said she was back, the first thing she did was to read through all of the writing we had shared while she was gone. She wanted to give her feedback to everyone. Apparently, my story upset her. She said she didn't join the group to read porn.
Oh my gosh.
I explained that it was a joke and brought up the sex scenes in other members' stories, but she didn't care. She didn't appreciate the joke and said that there's a difference between including a sex scene in a story and a story that was pure smut. We went back and forth a bit, but eventually she said that she wasn't comfortable reading my work anymore and was reconsidering her place in the group if I didn't leave. I felt bad about it, but I wasn't about to quit the group. I asked everyone else. Most said she was overreacting, but there were a few who agreed that my story was over the top. Even so, we've had plenty of stories that have made a few members uncomfortable, and they've always just brought it up in the course of workshopping the piece. No one's ever threatened to quit over them. I don't think my joke of a story should be treated any differently. Am I the a-hole?
Not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole.
Calm down, lady. Who are you to come in after 2 months and go and critique everybody's work?
And also,
You're
like,
the president of the beach club.
also, too, though, it's like, who made you the boss of, like, what's considered appropriate and what's considered smut and what's considered erotica and what's regular fantasy? It's like, are you the expert on all this? No.
Yeah, get out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah. I agree. She's definitely, or they're definitely not the a-hole. It's like, also, what's the point of being in a writer's group like that if you can't, like, it's a prank, but I feel like you should be able to write that and submit it if it's not a prank.
Yeah, totally.
Like, if it's a prank, funny, that's funny. Haha, whatever. Like, you know, as long as what she's saying is true and it was just, you know, harmless fanfic with two consenting adults doing weird stuff, like, you know, I use weird in air quotes. Like, that's kind of no one's business, you know?
Listen, we read full sack over here.
We did.
What are you going to do?
Oh my God. What? It was full sack.
I know, right?
It's published.
I know it's published. Oh my gosh, it'd be a full circle moment.
I mean, hey, we understand. It was a little bit of a jump scare, but will we ever tell someone not to write it? No.
No. I'll read it again.
I'll read it again. It was 5 stars for you. Oh my God, I love that. I just thought it was funny, though. Like, lighten up.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
Lighten up. Am I the a-hole for cutting my sister off after a prank? So, my sister pulled a prank on me as kind of a retaliation for a prank I pulled on her. I posted about it here before, but basically, I gave her an Xbox. It was just the empty box with a brick inside.
That's kind of a funny prank.
Long story short, it made her cry. Listen,
come
my
on.
family does that to each other all the time. But usually, if you're gonna do the Xbox thing, say it's something they've been really wanting and waiting for,
You would then give them an Xbox.
give them the Xbox. Like,
After
you just
the
put
brick
the brick
box.
in there as
Yeah.
a joke, and then be like, "Here's the real thing." Just kidding. You
Yeah.
know, we have those stupid boxes that are cell phones for babies, and it's like a joke box. And some people really, like, especially White Elephant, if there's new people in the room, they think it's like, oh, great, cool. And they're like, no, look inside the box. It's, like, obviously fake. Anyways, they went too far, yes. So, a-hole for that one, but okay. Now, after that day, she vowed revenge.
Ooh, I love it.
I always felt I was too smart to be pranked, but I guess I was wrong. Anybody can be pranked. You're not too smart.
Yeah.
Okay. This morning, I had a girl over. She's a little more than a friend, but not exactly a girlfriend. It's complicated. But what happened was she was over when my family was out on a trip, but my family came back earlier than expected. The girl stayed, though, and I introduced her to the family. So they started to ask her questions, and my sister just disappeared. It was all going surprisingly well until my sister came back. She had gotten my secret collection of adult magazines and exposed them to my family in front of this girl.
Oh my
God. They
God.
aren't Playboy or anything. They're just Japanese manga books. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I think
manga. With some very risque drawings that I've had for years.
Okay.
I tried taking them back from her, but I didn't want to risk ripping them, and my mom wouldn't let me have them back. She thumbed through and showed my family all the drawings inside. There was some nudity, some larger breasted people, and even a lesbian scene. It was incredibly humiliating. My mom won't let me look at them and has been asking me to sell them because I have younger siblings who might see them. This girl was mocking me and calling me a weeb. I don't even know what that is. My uncle, I'm so old. My uncle has been on to me about looking at lewd drawings over real women.
I mean,
As I'm not done.
yeah. Okay.
She has pretty much ruined my standing with my family, and I vowed never to talk to her again.
Oh my gosh.
She has stepped over the line. Well, she already cut you off, but did she really? No, he was going to cut her off, right? Okay. But I've been thinking, am I really the a-hole here for cutting her off and pranking her beforehand? Or making her do this to me? Or is exposing my manga books to my family on the same level as the Xbox prank?
I think how old are they? Does it say?
He said the mom is like wanting to get rid of them because of younger siblings and they live at the house. So it seems like maybe late high school, if I would guess. Because it doesn't say, and every time it doesn't say their age, it's usually because they're young. So
Yeah, because my thoughts on it are like, if you're an adult, then look at what you want to look at.
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird that your family would like get so upset over it.
Yeah.
Like I get that, like, I don't know, it depends on what kind of culture. If you grew up in purity culture, obviously they'd get really upset, but like at the same time,
Well, the mom's just asking to get rid of them, not demanding, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's not like she's like
it sounds like they're just more embarrassed.
yeah, if you're just embarrassed and this is not actually like your sister's ruining your life because now your parents are going to send you to like Christian camp to fix you, you know what I mean? Then
Not high stakes. Yeah.
it's not high stakes. Like if it's literally like low stakes, I think that's obviously like we look at not safe for work artwork all the time when it comes to like the books that we read. No judgment from me. So I don't know. I would say like disowning your sibling over that might be a little extreme. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it was retaliation. It's a retaliation prank. So
Maybe you had it coming.
that's kind of what the internet says too.
Yeah.
They voted a-hole because you dish it out. It's great. You dish it out and you can't take it.
Yeah.
Like what they did wasn't even that bad.
No.
It's something that you just have and they're showing everybody. However, it's through the lens of judgment, that they're putting out his information there and what he enjoys. But he dished it out. Like,
Yeah.
on a personal level that made them cry and upset. And obviously it seems like a situation where they really wanted an Xbox and they thought they were getting one, And
I'd
it's
say,
like, no,
yeah.
you got a brick.
Yeah. I'd say if it's low stakes, like again, that's what it comes down to. If it's low stakes And all it is like now your family knows that you've looked at some animated pictures of like naked women or whatever, then who cares? You know what I mean? Like, you should be able to, like, you dished it out. You should be able to take it, like, laugh it off, whatever.
Sibling pranks are on a different level. Yeah. For sure.
For sure. But like, I mean, obviously, if this was a situation where like that would have gotten you into insane. Or, exactly.
Put
like
into a put into a rehabilitation camp, something
insane like that, then your sister should know, coming from that background too, that like you should not prank stuff like that. But it sounds like it's like all in good fun, and maybe
kind of,
you just, I mean, we don't even know, like, how did the girl that likes you respond?
Yeah,
like,
didn't even say.
For all we know, she reads that too. Yeah. Maybe she's like, oh, this guy's cooler than I thought.
Yeah. Manga's super popular.
Yeah. So,
sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Manga?
I don't know.
Manga's super popular. So, yeah, that's why you don't prank with someone that you are not speaking with or have a vendetta against or aren't getting along with right now, because it will leave it that, that gray area of like, ooh, crossing lines. Yeah. You should prank. Let's all as a society decide. Prank only for fun. Enjoy.
Prank only for fun. Yeah.
With willing participants.
Okay, here we go.
All right, last one.
Am I the a-hole for being upset when my boyfriend fake proposed to me?
Yeah. You're not the a-hole. Go ahead.
Granted, this was on April Fool's Day, so it's been a while. Necessary context. My boyfriend got his dream job across the country, and he asked me to move with him. My career and all my friends were in our hometown, so I was nervous to leave. I told him that for me to make that sort of commitment, that I needed to be convinced that he was legitimately invested in us in the long term. For me to drop my whole life to move with him, I needed to make sure we were on the same page in our levels of commitment, especially because I would be financially dependent on him until I finished graduate school. He agreed and convinced me that it was what he wanted. He even went a step further to say that he wanted us to eventually get married. That was enough for me, so I moved. Things have been going really well, but after about 4 months in, I asked him when he sees us getting married ideally. Not that I was in a rush, but again, I think it's important to be on the same page as your partner in terms of long-term wants. He totally avoided the question, just kept saying, "We will," over and over, which kind of concerned me, but I let it go because I didn't really care that much. But like most women, I'm sure I definitely dream of getting proposed to and married someday to, quote unquote, the one. A few days later, we went on a drive and ended up at this beautiful shoreline. We got out and it was gorgeous, sunset over the water. I made a comment about how romantic the scene was, and that's when he did it. He grabbed my hand, got down on one knee, and looked into my eyes. It seemed so real. I kind of yelped from the shock, and then he says, "April Fools," and starts laughing his ass off.
That's so mean.
It's so mean. Like, tears in his eyes, laughing so hard. Meanwhile, I am not laughing. I'm crushed. I'm so embarrassed. All I can squeak out is, "Not funny." He's totally confused as to why I'm not laughing. So I tell him it felt like he was making a joke out of something I felt really serious about. He does not understand why it upsets me and has been bringing it up for days now, saying things like, "That was funny," and starts laughing all over again. Am I the a-hole for getting hurt and upset? Should I just lighten up about this?
They're not the a-hole, but he sure is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That feels like a test almost too. Like, what will they put up with? How much fun can I poke at my future possible wife? Like, is she going to pass that test first? Ooh, it feels sinister. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yuck. Mean. Right. Mayday. Red flag. Where's the red flag?
Right away. Yeah, I mean, that sucks too, because it's like she said, it's not like they're in high school and it's like whatever. It's like literally she just gave up her whole life to like go move with him, which is her choice and her decision for sure. But they had the conversation ahead of time.
And now he makes a joke about it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not good.
Not good. What do you guys think?
The internet says not the a-hole, so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's like that context too of uprooting your entire life for him, and then he wants to joke about that. It's like, I want to believe that, people sometimes don't realize that there's that line that you shouldn't cross and you make a mistake, but also the fact that he continuously brought it up for several days after. She's still there, and he's still trying to convince her that it was funny.
He's doubling down.
He's doubling down. sometimes it's okay to admit if you did F up. You know?
Or like maybe you don't believe that you effed up, but obviously she's really upset about it. So it's also okay to just be like, oh, sorry, I thought it would be funny. And obviously it wasn't funny.
Yeah. Or I'm sorry. Yeah. It wasn't funny for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I didn't,
like,
I thought it would be funny. It's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you don't need to argue with me to try to convince me that it's funny. Obviously it's not funny.
That's why I feel sinister and controlling.
Yeah.
Like, you need to see it my way.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny. I'm funny.
Well, and also now what? Like, now how do you come back from that? So if he really does propose someday, she's like not going to believe it. It's not going to be special. She's going to be pulled out of the moment.
Yeah. And out of like, you know, I'm sure most of you guys probably didn't even know today was April Fool's Day, April 1st, that this episode is. You know, it's not like a real holiday.
Yeah.
You know, we did it as a joke because it lines up with our podcast, you know, uploading day on Tuesday. So it's like, great, let's do an April Fool's episode. But like, most people wouldn't even know. So it's not her fault. She didn't know it was April Fool's that day.
Yeah.
You know, watch out.
Well, and you don't think either, like, after going through all this and, like, being together and moving and all that stuff, that would even be, like, on the radar of someone to do?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Dude.
So, okay, I just found a little short one that's just, like, a bonus, but it's just so funny because I'm like, guys, are you okay? Like, literally, are you okay? Okay. This is would I be the a-hole if I put food coloring in my girlfriend's shampoo?
Don't do it, man.
Don't do it.
It's like Ride Wars.
Yeah.
Which her hair turns blue.
Okay. It's going to be that time of year again. And I'm starting to plan out how I'm going to celebrate April Fool's Day this year.
I didn't know, like, what is it, the color of the holiday? Like, what's happening? Okay.
So we've got, like, we have a full-blown, like, Prank Sinatra, it sounds like.
And it's going to be that time of year again. What will I do on April Fool's?
Yeah. I've been brainstorming pranks and thought that for my girlfriend, I should do something that involves her hair.
Oh, no. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that, guys.
She spends so much time messing with it.
All the more reason not to.
And it's starting to get annoying. So I'm hoping that my prank will get her to lighten up about it.
Oh, that won't work. Mayday, we're going down with the ship right now.
I just love the logic. Like, obviously, she's so into her hair. She's always messing with it. She's always talking about it. I think this will help her lighten up about it.
It'll ruin it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Now, I don't want to do any permanent damage because I still love her and everything. So after watching some stuff and Googling a bit, I decided on putting food coloring in her shampoo. She's blonde, so I decided blue would be nice.
It is Bride Wars.
And it'd be so easy to hide in a toning shampoo.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay. Because we do a lot of our pranks together, I ran my ideas by my friends Alex and Mikey.
Oh, guys. Great.
We're going to assume. We don't know, but I feel like if these were female friends, they would tell you not to do this.
Immediately no.
Yeah. Alex said it would be funny, but not to do it because he says her hair was a part of her job and messing it with it would make me an a-hole. Mikey says,
get fired.
Yeah, it's at certain jobs. Mikey says I should totally do it. And even if she gets mad, she can post the dyed hair on her Instagram for publicity. So we don't know what she does for her job. Okay. I'm leaning towards doing it, but at the same time, I'm not sure I totally trust Mikey with this because I know he's got a thing for me and has always been jealous of my girlfriend. Oh. I just love that, though. He's like, well, it might be like a nefarious sabotage. We don't really know, but maybe.
But confirmation bias says I'm going to do it.
Yeah, right. So I decided to come here to ask if doing the prank would make me an a-hole because I felt like I needed more opinions.
So he hasn't done it yet?
No, and they were definitely voted the a-hole by the internet.
Yeah, maybe he did it anyways. Knowing men, probably.
Yeah, this just cracked me up because I was like, the train of logic was just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, she has a job where her hair is important. It's really important to her. She's always messing with it and fixing it. Like, obviously, it's not someone who just, like, doesn't care.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to, like, prank her by doing something that's going to probably, like, super traumatize her and make her upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read pranks before and seen them where they, like, cut somebody's hair. Because
oh, my gosh.
How long it takes to grow hair super long. And they're like, haha. And it's like, what? Not haha. Ugh.
Yeah, this person said, food coloring is not meant for hair and does not always wash out. Your one-day prank could stain blonde hair and last for weeks, months, or until she cuts it off.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to mess with that.
Yeah. She says, just tell her you don't respect her and let her dump you before you do any lasting damage.
Yeah. Make it easy for everyone.
All the bleach blonde people are just coming for him in the comments. It's pretty funny.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so should we wrap up this wonderful April Fool's episode with a Winston Bishop smash or pass of his top pranks?
Great. So if anybody doesn't know who Winston Bishop is, New Girl. He is Prank Sinatra in New Girl. His pranks usually consist of either going way too hard or not at all hard enough, like softest, like not good at all. So there's no in between with him, and we love it.
We love it. Okay, so we're just going to say, like, would we do this prank? So basically, like, smash would be, we would do this prank. We approve of this prank.
Okay.
Pass would be, no, absolutely not. We do not approve of this prank.
Okay.
Okay, so the top one that comes up is, and I just got this list, like, randomly off the internet. Ain't no prank like a badger prank because a badger prank got badgers and it's dangerous as hell.
Winston, I love him. I loved that episode. It's a pass for me to do it, but I loved watching them.
Yeah. So just some context. Basically, he crashes one of his friend's weddings by setting a badger free, and it falls down on the altar of the wedding.
Yeah.
And it's like a crazy, like, I don't know if it was a rabid badger, but it was crazy.
I mean, badgers are just honey badgers you don't mess around with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's a internet throwback 15 years ago.
Oh my God, I know.
Crazy.
So I definitely would say pass as well. Like, that's a pretty uncool thing to do.
Yeah.
To the animal, too. So the next one, I just got this one off Reddit. It's not one that gets talked about a lot, but I loved it in the tomatoes episode where Winston glues tomatoes onto Nick's tomato plants the day after Nick plants them.
Smash!
That's such a good prank.
So do that. Yep.
Yeah, that's clever.
Yeah.
That's so clever.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one is convincing Schmidt to buy crack cocaine.
It was so good. Smash.
1,000%.
I don't know how I do it, but smash.
I mean, for the sole reason of hearing Schmidt come up with the crack cocaine, like the way he says it is just so fun.
Yeah. So good.
Okay, so the next one was putting Nick on the sex offender registry.
Pass. He went too hard. Oh, Winston.
But I mean, it makes for a good episode. Yeah. Okay, so I know this one is your favorite. I don't remember it, so you're gonna have to explain it to me. But the feather in the shoe.
They're just explaining how Winston either goes too hard or too soft on his pranks, and they do like flashbacks, and he just is like giggling and puts a feather in the shoe.
Oh, okay, like it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Okay.
It's not enough. So that's why I love that prank, because it's so stupid, and he's so excited, and he like watches from behind the like corner to watch their reaction. They're just like, oh, okay. And he's like, ah! Yeah.
They don't know where it came from.
Yeah, they don't know where it came from.
So is this the same? Okay, so smash. So is this the same one as the Blueberry and Schmidt cereal?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Again, like more examples of not going hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
he doesn't
other
know where the
examples are
blueberry
like
came
people
from.
getting hurt, like injured. I don't remember them, but yeah.
Yeah, so those were the top rated ones.
Yep.
My personal favorite, which was actually not on this list, so I'm like, am I remembering this wrong? But I don't think I am, is the one where he convinces Schmidt that he's shrinking.
Yeah.
That was my favorite, because that was like a long game.
Yeah, long game.
He literally guys, he like literally goes and gets all of his pants hemmed.
Yep.
He starts whittling down like the bottom of Schmidt's shoes. Like, he has a favorite chair that he like sinks into like at the end of a long day, and I can't remember if he was like whittling down the legs or like taking some stuffing out of it, but every time like he would sit down, he would sink lower into the chair. Like, that's diabolical to me. That's a good prank.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, all of that reminds me of the Office pranks.
Oh.
Okay, so smash or pass, stapler and Jell-O.
That's a smash for sure. Yeah,
smash.
That's a classic.
Smash or pass, switching out Jim Halpert with a different guy and pretending that it's him.
That was so good. That was so good.
All
smash.
day with the family photo switched out and freaking Dwight out. Yeah, smash. Okay. Convincing Dwight through faxes from, what is it, FBI?
Oh my God,
he's
smash.
Wanted for, like, help in an investigation. Smash.
Yeah.
Ah,
Those
there's
are
so
really
many
good too.
ones. How did I forget? Those were such classics.
Okay, so we've got Winston, we've got Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ultimate pranksters.
Ultimate pranksters. I love
Those are
it.
the only kind of pranks we want to see around here.
Yeah.
Around here.
Yeah. Oh my God,
good.
I love it.
Yeah,
All right.
so you guys, let us know your prank stories, either faves or fails, whatever. Your own, other people's, movies. We love to see it. Send it to us, and we will enjoy.
We will enjoy. We'll repost. Yep.
We enjoy. If you have stories you want us to share, feel free to let us know to share it. We love it. We love it.
Has your husband ever put, or your boyfriend ever put food coloring in your shampoo?
Honestly, hopefully,
Did you break up with him?
Yeah, an ex-husband, an ex. Oh, you guys, thank you so much for being here today. Happy April Fools to those who celebrate, and thanks for joining us. Hopefully, this episode just kind of lightened up your day, and you got to be silly with us. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe before you go anywhere you like to listen to your favorite podcast, including YouTube, and check us out on Instagram and TikTok, where we'll be posting those extended keep the April Fool's Day going all week long type of content.
Love it.
Check it out there. All right, guys. See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Bye.